In the quiet of a hospital waiting room, I sat alone, the sterile smell of antiseptic and the hum of distant machines my only companions. The clock on the wall ticked away the seconds, each one feeling like an eternity. I was there because my twin sister, Lily, had been in a car accident. The doctors had rushed her into emergency surgery, and all I could do was wait, my heart pounding with a mix of fear and desperation. Lily was more than just my sister. She was my best friend, my confidant, and the only person who truly understood me. As I sat there, my mind racing with worst-case scenarios, a stranger walked in and sat down next to me. She had short, spiky hair, a nose ring, and eyes that held a world of stories. I didn't know it then, but this stranger, Alex, would become the most unexpected and transformative part of my life. Alex looked at me with a soft smile, her eyes filled with a warmth that seemed out of place in the cold, clinical setting. "First time in a waiting room?" she asked, her voice gentle yet firm. I nodded, too overwhelmed to speak. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, worn notebook. "I've been here more times than I can count," she said, flipping through the pages filled with sketches and notes. "My mom's been in and out of the hospital for years. Cancer." The word hung in the air, heavy and painful. I looked at her, surprised by her openness. "I'm sorry," I managed to say, my voice barely above a whisper. Alex shrugged, a sad smile playing on her lips. "It's okay. You get used to it after a while. The waiting, the uncertainty. It becomes a part of your life." She turned to a fresh page in her notebook and started to draw, the scratch of her pencil against the paper oddly soothing. "What's your name?" she asked, not looking up from her sketch. "I'm Eva," I replied, feeling a strange comfort in her presence. "Eva," she repeated, her pencil pausing for a moment. "That's a beautiful name." As the hours ticked by, Alex and I talked. She told me about her mom, her dreams of becoming an artist, and her struggles with her identity. I found myself opening up to her, sharing things I had never told anyone else. I talked about Lily, about our shared love for music, and about the fears that kept me awake at night. It was strange how easily we connected, how quickly we went from strangers to something more. The waiting room, with its harsh fluorescent lights and uncomfortable chairs, became a sanctuary, a place where we could be ourselves, raw and unfiltered. Just as I was about to share something deeply personal, a doctor walked in, his face grave. My heart leapt into my throat as he called my name. "Eva, we need to talk about your sister." The words hung in the air, heavy and ominous. Alex reached out and squeezed my hand, a silent promise of support. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for whatever news was about to come. Little did I know, this moment would mark the beginning of a journey that would change everything. Not just for Lily and me, but for Alex as well. The most unexpected twists were yet to come, and they would test the bonds of love, friendship, and identity in ways I could never have imagined. As I followed the doctor down the sterile hallway, Alex's hand still clasping mine, I felt a whirlwind of emotions. The doctor led us to a small, private room, and I braced myself for the worst. "Your sister is stable," he began, and I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. "But there were some complications. She's in a coma, and we're not sure when, or if, she'll wake up." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I felt my knees buckle, but Alex was there, her arm wrapping around my waist, holding me up. The doctor continued speaking, his voice a distant echo as I tried to process the news. Alex thanked the doctor and guided me back to the waiting room, her presence a steady anchor in my storm of emotions. We sat down and I turned to her, my eyes filled with tears. "I can't lose her, Alex. She's all I have," I choked out. Alex took my hand, her thumb tracing circles on my palm. "You won't lose her, Eva. She's a fighter, and she has you fighting for her. That counts for something." I looked into Alex's eyes, finding a strength and determination that gave me hope. Over the next few days, Alex and I became inseparable. We spent hours by Lily's side, talking to her, playing her favorite music, and hoping for any sign of improvement. Alex brought her notebook, filling it with sketches of Lily, of me, and of the moments we shared. She captured the essence of our emotions, the raw pain and the quiet hope, with every stroke of her pencil. One evening, as we sat by Lily's bedside, Alex turned to me, her eyes serious. "Eva, there's something I need to tell you," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I looked at her, my heart pounding with a mix of curiosity and fear. "What is it?" I asked, bracing myself for whatever she was about to reveal. Alex took a deep breath, her fingers tracing the edge of her notebook. "I'm not just here for my mom," she began. "I'm here because I was in an accident too. A different one, but just as life-changing." She paused, her eyes meeting mine. "I was in a car with my girlfriend when we were hit by a drunk driver. She didn't make it, and I lost a part of myself that day. The revelation hit me like a wave, and I reached out, taking her hand. "Alex, I'm so sorry," I whispered, my heart aching for her. She smiled sadly, her fingers tightening around mine. "It's okay. It's been a long road, but I've learned to find beauty in the pain, to find hope in the darkness." She looked at Lily, then back at me. "And I think maybe that's what we're doing here too. Finding hope, finding each other, in the most unexpected ways." As the days turned into weeks, Alex and I grew closer. We shared our fears, our dreams, and our secrets. We laughed together, cried together, and found solace in each other's company. One night, as we sat by Lily's bedside, Alex leaned in and kissed me. It was a soft, gentle kiss, filled with all the emotions we had shared, all the pain and hope and love. I kissed her back, feeling a connection that went beyond words, beyond time. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated honesty, a moment that changed everything. But little did we know, this was just the beginning of a journey that would test our love, our courage, and our belief in the power of the unexpected. As Lily's condition slowly improved, Alex and I found ourselves navigating a new reality. We were no longer just two strangers brought together by circumstance. We were something more, something deeper. We spent every moment we could together, stealing kisses in the hospital corridors, sharing secrets in the quiet of the night, and dreaming of a future where Lily was awake and the world was a little brighter. But life, as we were learning, had a way of throwing curveballs when you least expected them. One day, as I sat by Lily's side, holding her hand and talking to her about Alex, I felt a squeeze. It was slight, barely noticeable, but it was there. My heart leapt into my throat as I looked at Lily, her eyes still closed, but her hand squeezing mine again. "Lily," I whispered, my voice trembling with hope. "Lily, can you hear me?" Another squeeze, stronger this time. Tears filled my eyes as I rushed to call the doctor. This was the moment we had been waiting for, the moment we had hoped and prayed for. The doctor rushed in, his eyes widening as he saw Lily's hand moving in mine. He quickly examined her, his face breaking into a smile. "She's waking up," he said, his voice filled with relief and joy. I turned to Alex, who had just entered the room, her eyes filled with the same hope and excitement that I felt. We embraced, our hearts pounding in sync, our dreams finally becoming a reality. But as Lily slowly woke up, we realized that something was different. She looked at me, her eyes filled with confusion and fear. "Eva?" she whispered, her voice hoarse from disuse. "Eva, what happened?" I took her hand, squeezing it gently. "You were in an accident, Lily. But you're okay now. You're going to be okay." She looked at me, then at Alex, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Who is she?" she asked, her voice laced with suspicion. My heart sank as I realized that Lily didn't remember Alex, didn't remember the journey we had been on, the love we had found. I looked at Alex, seeing the same realization dawning in her eyes. We had been so focused on Lily waking up that we hadn't considered the possibility of her not remembering. It was a harsh reminder that life was unpredictable, that the journey was never straightforward. As the days passed, Lily's memory slowly returned, but it was a struggle. She remembered bits and pieces, fragments of our shared past, but it was like putting together a puzzle with missing pieces. Alex and I stood by her side, supporting her, loving her, and hoping that she would eventually remember everything. But even as Lily struggled to remember, Alex and I found ourselves growing stronger. We faced each challenge together, our love a beacon of light in the darkness. We laughed, we cried, and we fought for Lily, for us, for the love that had found us in the most unexpected way. And as we did, we realized that sometimes the most beautiful journeys were the ones you never saw coming. Just as we were starting to find our new normal, another twist of fate threw us into uncharted territory. One afternoon, while Lily was resting, Alex received a phone call. Her face paled as she listened, her eyes filling with a mix of shock and disbelief. She hung up the phone, turning to me with a look that sent a chill down my spine. "That was my mom's doctor," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "She's taken a turn for the worse. They don't think she has much time left." The news hit me like a freight train. After everything we had been through, it felt cruel and unfair. But life, as we had learned, didn't always play by the rules. Alex looked at me, her eyes filled with tears. "I have to go, Eva. I have to be with her." I nodded, understanding the urgency. "I'll go with you," I said, my voice firm. "We'll face this together, just like we've faced everything else." As we rushed to Alex's mom's side, I couldn't help but think about the journey that had brought us here. From strangers in a waiting room to lovers navigating the storms of life, our story was one of unexpected twists and turns. We had found each other in the most unlikely of places, and our love had grown stronger with each challenge we faced. Alex's mom passed away peacefully, surrounded by love and warmth. It was a heartbreaking moment, but it also brought a sense of closure. Alex held my hand tightly, her tears mingling with mine. In that moment, we knew that we had each other, that our love was a force to be reckoned with, a beacon of light in the darkest of times. As we stood there, holding each other, I realized that our journey was far from over. We had faced so much and we would face more, but we would do it together, hand in hand, hearts intertwined. Our love story was one of resilience, of hope, and of the unexpected. It was a story that defied the odds, that proved that love could be found in the most unlikely of places. And so, as we look to the future, we do so with open hearts and open minds. We know that life will throw more curveballs our way, but we also know that we have each other. We have our love, our strength, and our unwavering belief in the power of the unexpected. If you've been touched by our story, if you found hope or inspiration in our journey, then we invite you to be a part of it. Subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and share your own stories with us. Let's build a community of love, of support, and of the unexpected. And don't forget to comment down below your favorite part of the video. We can't wait to hear from you, to connect with you, and to continue this journey together. Because after all, we are more than just strangers. We are lovers, fighters, and dreamers, bound together by the most unexpected of journeys.